Hello, hello, hello. So this is my first live log. I'm going to call it live log 001, and I am exploring the idea of line learning. So a little bit about me. I studied at drama school for 3 years, and one of the most ridiculous and annoying things to do was to learn the lines, to put them inside the head. So I've spoken to quite a few people now over the last year or so about how do they learn lines and how best are they doing it. And, I've had a lot of good tips. But I've decided that I want to embark on a new mode of learning in that it takes it's about the process. It's about the processing power. So it's not about quickly putting them in, quickly putting them out. It's about how deep and how quickly I can learn them, if that makes sense. So what I've been doing using a form of feedback, a feedback mechanism. So a little bit about that. I read a book called Peak by Anders Ericsson, and it is a in-depth research into what makes experts experts. And one of the key points that I took away from it was this idea of feedback, a feedback mechanism, a little bit like how sportsmen will rewatch their game footage with their coaches and they will discuss what went right and what went wrong. And so I've realized that I can use this in many different facets. So I wrote a monologue to join as part of a competition to perform a piece about London and what it means, and my piece is about the monuments and the importance of that. But anyway, I thought I'd use this opportunity to try and learn the lines in a different way. Now, again, this is the very first experiment in that. I know that I wrote it, so it might be very quick, much quicker than learning something completely cold. But basically, what I've just done is I've spent 45 minutes. I hadn't looked at the speech for a week, so I wrote it, didn't look at it for a week. And what I've done basically is I've used the mechanism loop feedback. That made no sense. But anyway, I am playing with the idea. And so I thought, how do I do that? How can I use the feedback mechanism in line learning? And so I just thought of it as a little bit like scales. So what I did was I recorded the speech, one sentence and at a time, but adding another sentence each time. So I would, for example, record the first line. It grows, evolves, and changes at an unsettling rate. Then I would leave enough space for me to say that out loud. Then I would then repeat the lines 1 and 2. It grows, evolves, and changes at an unsettling rate. The city beats faster and faster, etc., etc., until you've done the whole speech. So with this speech, it's about a minute long. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 sentences. So you build it up very slowly 15 times. So the whole recording lasted about 17 minutes. So basically what I realized was even just the exercise in repeating the lines and then reading them in my head, and then building it was part of the exercise. That is part of the process of putting it in the head, of reading it over and over again. And then the second level was to read it back and to listen to the first line. Then there was space for me to repeat the first line, then listen to the first and second line, enough space for me to repeat the first and second line, etc., etc. And I started from lying down to eventually standing up and moving around. And it seemed to work. I mean, it seemed to, by the end of it, I had all the speech in my head, and I had repeated most of the speech 15 times in the recording, and I'd also done it about 15 times recording it. So in total, I've kind of repeated the speech over and over and over and over and over again 30 times in the space of 45 minutes. And rather than just doing it over and over, there was a process, there was a step in which you built and built and built. So I mean, some weird reconnections. But thanks for listening. If there's any feedback, if you guys have any ideas how you might do this, if there's another sort of feedback way that it can be done, please let me know.